every time.
The Progress Report.
Yo, this is DJ BigX, and right now, man, I'm live right now. We're doing my thing on the Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl Lala Shepherd.
Boss Brit the most lit.
DJXATL, what's up with y'all?
All right, yes, with the switch up. But we got a special guest in the building, man. We got the CEO of the Coalition DJs, DJ BigX, in the building.
Big boss.
Welcome to the show.
What's up?
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Y'all know I got to do my introduction and background, you know, whenever it's a guest up here that's special, man. You know, DJ Funky brought me into the Coalition DJs, and he was just like, you got to meet, you know, CEO Big X. I'm like, all right, cool. And, you know, Big X ain't played no games, you know what I mean? He was just mean and just straightforward. But I appreciate it, though. Like, I always learned, like, hella game from you, you know, directly, indirectly. He would tell me, like, nah, you need to pick it up, or you ain't doing enough, you know, just little shit like that. So I've always paid attention, and I'm appreciative for all the stuff that we've done, and just thank you for, you know, taking me under your wing. So welcome.
You're welcome.
Yes,
And,
sir. Welcome to the Progress Report.
I'm like I was saying today in my post, I'm actually proud of you. I know how long you've been doing this show, and to see it go from where you started at to see where you at now. I'm really proud of what y'all done and what y'all accomplished with this show. You know
For sure. Well, we here now, so yeah, man. Talk to the people. Just let everybody know what's some of your titles, because you do a lot of different things. And when did you get into the business?
Man, I started in the business in if I do that, I might tell my age.
I mean, it is what it is.
I started like I want to say like 90. I started out producing. I started out doing a group called the Hard Boys, and the Hard Boys was like the first rap group in Atlanta to ever do like gangster rap.
Damn.
Before that,
it sound like a Hard Boys,
right?
But before that, we was doing like you had Sade, Raheem the Dream, a lot of that shit. So when I started doing like I did like the first gangster album. Then after that, I started working with Dallas, and during that process, I got the opportunity to work on a lot of different artists with him along the way. Then I branched off, and I had my first deal at like maybe 20. I was 20 years old.
So with production, when you say you working, are you talking about on the
I was producing.
Okay.
I was a DJ turned producer.
Okay.
In high school, I was a DJ, and then when I graduated from high school, I turned into a producer.
Okay.
I did pretty much like as a producer. I worked with pretty much everybody. I worked with De La Soul. I did Too Short. I did Too Short from like '96 to about 2001.
Crazy.
George Clinton, Blackstreet, Will Smith.
Damn.
I did a lot of people.
You did Get Jiggy with it?
Big residuals.
Nah, but you know, that was just something I did then. Then I worked at the label for a while. I worked at, I ran Roddy for a little while. I signed a lot of different artists over there. I had a group, part of the group y'all remember. I don't know if y'all remember the Backwoods. They had a group called, they had a song called I Don't Like the Look of It.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I remember that video with the Willy Wonka thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hip
And they'd be
facts.
like, I don't know. It would do it like the Willy Wonka type.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
that. Got you.
But
that was hard.
But that was the group I had signed to Dallas. And then that was like the last time I was in the music industry. You know, when I left there, I started doing Coalition DJs, and that all became because me and Dallas just had some differences.
It's happy.
Then I just left. I mean, it wasn't no love lost, and then we just
never
was in two different spaces. You know what I'm saying? So with us being in two different spaces, I went and started doing the DJ. And then you know, even with him having me there at the label, it taught me what was the most valuable piece of the puzzle that everybody was missing in the music business, and I seen it. It was the DJs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I seen how valuable and how important the role was for a DJ to be in the business, that's when I said, oh shit. I've been trying to be a producer and make money. This is where the real money is, and this is how I can really help people accomplish some of the goals that they're trying to accomplish in the music business. So, and that's how I started doing Coalition.
Shit. We can take this a couple of different ways, but that's what's up. That's definitely a lot. Oh, that's your phone. Okay.
No, that's not me.
Who house phone?
Oh, that might be my phone.
I was gonna
that's
say,
the
I
other
think that's
phone.
your phone.
That's the other phone.
Right.
My bad.
But nah, that's interesting though, man.
I
That's
actually thought this phone was dead. My bad.
okay when you get into it. But nah, that's definitely
Getting louder and louder.
They ain't hanging up.
And,
Nah, but that's definitely dope. I definitely want to make sure we get into the Coalition DJs, of course, but I definitely want to ask your opinion, like just starting in the music business and industry at that time. How have you seen it, of course, change since now? Like, talk about some of them changes.
I'll tell you like this. I seen like when it kind of changed. Like when I first went in the studio, when we was going to the studio, we actually got paid before we actually went in the studio.
Oh damn.
Shit.
Like I would get back then I would get paid like maybe $5,000-$10,000 before I even made a beat.
Oh damn.
What damn?
So I would get my check before I even got in the studio. So it went from doing that to like what now I don't even think the producers even get paid.
Fuck no.
I think they send a tape to somebody and they rap over, and if they like it and it blow up, then they get paid.
They gotta fight for their money.
Just seeing that process of production, that was one of the main reasons why I stopped in. But the other side of it was the mix show craze. When everybody started doing mixtapes, they started taking a lot of the producer beats and wasn't paying the producers and was actually just putting their beats on the mixtapes. And that was when I got out. I was like, I can't do it. During that time, I had a child I was trying to support, and just trying to shop beats and put beats on different artists. It's just something I didn't want to do no more. So.
Okay, so I have a question. When they was paying you before you was in the studio, was you still getting like residuals on those songs?
Yeah, you still got residuals,
That's
but
what's up.
that was just more so your advance. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So, but a lot of times, depending on what your position was as a producer, that shit will come out on the back end. Like you will have to recoup that money first. You know what I'm saying? Depending on like now, if you was Teddy Riley or somebody who was really getting to it,
Yeah.
that was like basically that was like your money. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, because I think we interviewed a lot of producers where they like, they ain't get paid from a hit to like almost a year
They gotta
later
fight
type
for their
thing.
shit. They
Yeah.
gotta really fight.
But that was one of the main reasons why I actually like even some of the stuff I do now. I kind of like, even with my show I do, my podcast, the We Outside show, I kind of have artists come on. You know, I know when they come on y'all show, y'all case kind of fun, kind of,
We talk about serious stuff too.
I really kind of focus the business
For
because one of the main things I like to do is make sure the artists know about the business.
That's right.
And it's crazy that a lot of the artists that you see blow up, they don't know shit about the business until they got money on the table. That ain't when you want to learn about the business.
Right.
You don't. Yeah, you don't want to learn about the business like when the money is on the table, because now you got a lot of emotions tied up in that. You got a lot of friendships. You got a lot of shit tied up in that shit. So now you find out, not that the person is even ganking you or taking money from you. It's just shit, man. This what you signed. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hard pill to swallow, to know you signed some shit and you didn't really understand it. You know what I'm saying? True. And you want somebody to look at it differently, but they like, nah, this is business.
Yeah. I seen you do one with Lil Donald, and he said something that made a lot of sense, especially nowadays. I believe he said something like, yo, why are these like people that aren't popping dropping albums when they don't even got nobody to listen to a full project? Like, you should just keep hitting them with singles to get that attention.
But it's crazy even when he said that, a lot of artists still don't understand that. They still trying to put out a whole album, and it's like, we live in a single driven market. Even when you talk about your big artists that's at the labels that getting millions of dollars, we live in a single driven market. So even a Beyonce, even a Jay-Z, anybody you think, they can't really get the momentum they need to build on a record until that single pop. So even as an independent artist, you want to take that same approach. And a lot of times, artists forget what independent means. Yeah. Independent means, I'm going to do it independently myself. I'm going to do the same thing that the record label would do. Not part of what the record label would do, but what the record label would do myself. People think because I'm an artist, that means I'm begging, you're supposed to do me a favor. No, that means you saying, hey man, I'm gonna pick up the ball because until I get signed, I'm gonna take these costs on. When you look at the Master P story, when you look at all these stories of people that got successful from being an independent artist, they took on the role of what a major label would be doing as an independent.
So can you name like 5 things you would tell an independent artist they have to do? Because you've been in the label, and you're on the DJ side now, heavy.
The first thing I would do, I would give me some representation, especially if I'm serious about it. Before I get a manager, any of that shit, I would want to know the business. The second thing I would do, I would learn about the business. I would go and get me a book. And there's a lot of books. One of the books I like is the Business of Music. I really like that book because it shows you all facets of it. I think even from the publishing side and the mechanical side, how you get paid, and get you a team. My third thing would be get a team. Not your homeboys, not motherfuckers that want to hang out with you and just have fun, but get you a real team and make sure everybody that's on your team play a real part. Whether he be a manager, whether he be a road manager, whether he be a nigga that roll the blunts, but make sure everybody on the team play an important role. because a lot of times what I see with a lot of artists that we see come through what we do, it's not them that actually causes the issues, it's the niggas that be with them.
That's facts.
Crazy.
That's facts.
So the fourth thing I would do is kind of learn the distribution side or the business side of, okay, what do you get for a distribution when you're getting distributed, and what is the benefits of being signed to a major? I think a lot of times, if you got real momentum, sometimes it might be beneficial to stay independent.
For sure.
Because and then a lot of time artists have to understand, when you go and sign those labels, are you being signed to stop you? Because a lot of times they might have an artist out at that time.
Damn, I ain't even think about that.
They might have an artist out at the time that they really got real money invested into. That shit, your record might get in the way.
That's crazy. That's really happening.
But you know what? That makes sense though. Like,
Music game 30.
I mean, it's business though. I mean,
Yeah.
shit. So just think about how many motherfuckers got signed that they got canned.
Yeah, ain't heard nothing else from them.
So just think, I mean, they had great records. You like, yo, they finally got signed to a label, and they got to the label, and the record kind of just fizzled the whole shit, because at that time, just the politics of the music business, it wasn't a priority. So if you go in the building, and that's why I kind of preach to a lot of the independent artists, before you go in there and take that single deal, make sure you build your record up. Build up so you can go in there and demand what you want, opposed to taking what they're offering.
Makes sense.
And most of the time, a lot of the artists that go on those deals and they take those deals, they so hungry for the money. $60,000. Just think about it. If you got $60,000 invested into a record that you just went and spent $70,000-$80,000 into, you didn't even really make your money back. You really just broke even.
Damn right.
So was it beneficial for you to sign an independent deal?
True. Smart.
Okay, no, that's facts though. Talk about forming a Coalition DJs. What was some of those early hardships, and what was some easy stuff? Because I'm sure putting together a group of DJs, damn, like.
The hardest shit forming a Coalition DJs was to get people to believe that they were spending their money and it was gonna work.
Gotcha.
Because and this is before everybody started saying they could break records. When we came, after we formed Coalition DJs, now everybody in the city say, oh, we break records now. When we came, it wasn't a such thing as breaking records. We were just really playing records in the club, and there was people that kind of just fuck with us, that we was kind of friends with, that would go, hey man, listen, I'm gonna do this, you do this for me. So when you see the success of like people like the Migos, Future, and a lot of those people, those were just really just relationships. It wasn't nobody going, hey man, I'm gonna drop 10 on you. We were just doing it on like, hey, do us this, we're gonna make sure we play the record every night. And that's kind of like how I came up with the formula of, man, let's start a rotation system where we can spin the records in the club on rotation. Like we take records now, we'll spin a record for 6 to 8 weeks in a club. A lot of times when what people were doing before, they were just actually going in the club, showing the DJ love, thinking that if I came in and showed him love and I spent $100, $200 with him, he was gonna play my record after I leave.
Nah,
they
Not
gonna
happening.
be like, thanks for the drinks, bro.
So
they gonna play while you there, but not while you not.
Right. So that was one of the benefits that we had. And after we started growing and we broke a lot of artists and that shit, we created a monitoring system. We was able to monitor the DJs. So if the DJ was playing in Blaze, we could monitor and see how many times he played a record, one particular record in Blaze, or if he played the record, every DJ was monitored. So we kind of started having a system, kind of like media based, like radio. And then we actually did a deal through a company that we was working with out of New York, called Pool with Media Base. So we still are the only record company, still only DJ record pool where we can actually monitor the DJs, see where they play the record, and we got to deal with Media Base, the same company that radio stations use.
Yeah, major.
So
What year was Coalition's found?
we started in 08. It was 4 of us. It was me, Nando, Funky, and X-Rated.
Sure. Yeah, long live Nando, man. I think right around the time I was coming in, it was when, everything happened with Nando, but I did get a chance to witness his greatness.
Yeah.
But talk about Nando for a little bit, man. What's one of your fondest memories of DJ Nando?
Oh man, the shit that kind of locked me in with Nando was, I was kind of like, when I left the label, and I told you I started learning like how important the DJs was. I got a job at Onyx as the day shift DJ, and he was the nighttime DJ, and I was like, shit, I want to get on the fucking night shift. But Nando had that shit on lock. it's like shit, to get on night shift, you had to really be the shit. But they would let me DJ on night shift, but it would be like the super dead night. Like I'm talking about the night nobody would be in that motherfucker. So
that's fucked up.
but me and him started to build a relationship because like as we like I would be in the daytime and he would come in at night. So we would cross paths, you know, on the changing the shifts. And the one thing I loved about Nando, he was the only DJ I ever seen. I've been doing this shit for a long time. This guy actually came to work at like he's supposed to be there at 8. He would come in at 6:30. And he would bring his own fucking system. Fuck the club. He would bring his own box, the whole shit, and set up his own shit. He was doing live stream before live stream was even popular. Wow. Nigga had like two cameras in the fucking DJ booth, 3-4 computers. He was live streaming the whole shit. So even when you go to Houston now, I be feeling like a lot of Houston DJs be sounding like Nando because when he used to live stream, niggas used to actually imitate his shit. But one of my fondest memories, like, and what locked me into Nando is one night we went to Platinum one night after we left work, and he was like, "Come DJ for me while I host the bitch slap contest."
Atlanta shit. Atlanta shit. That shit be looking crazy.
So as he was hosting the bitch slap contest, this is like the first time I started noticing, like, man, motherfuckers is really walking up here to the DJ booth, spending money trying to get their record played, like. This shit went on for about an hour. I had like $1,000 worth of $100 bills waiting for him when he got off the stage for motherfuckers that wanted their records played while he was hosting the show. I said, fuck, we could make some money doing this shit. Wow. And it just made sense. So when I went home that night, I was like, damn, I hadn't even told Nando. I was, the whole time, I went home like immediately like, fuck, we could get some money doing this shit. So when I got home, I called Funky, and I said, Funky, man, I got it. We need to form a DJ crew. Funky was like, man, I ain't fucking with that shit. I was just in Hitman and Legion of Doom. I ain't doing no DJ shit. So I went to Funky, and I was like, well, give me 6 months. Give me 6 months. If this shit don't work in 6 months, I won't fuck with you no more. I said, but you got to bring X-Rated with you. He said, fuck, I gotta get X-Rated. I said, if you bring X-Rated, I bring Nando. And during that time, I don't know if it was some little funk between X-Rated and Nando, but everybody was like, oh man, X-Rated and Nando together, that shit ain't gonna last a year. And so, shit, we made it past a year, and after we made it past a year, we started seeing like the influence of just how important what we was doing in the club. Like the first record we had, which was, I think the first record we had was like Cashing Out. That was like the first record we had that go big, and he was like the first artist that went nationwide, that went on like all of the programs.
Cash Out. Hell yeah.
He was like the first artist that went on all the programs, going Coalition DJs, and he kind of helped us grow at that point. And before that, nobody really knew who we were. We was just some niggas in Atlanta that worked in the strip club. But after we got that national attention and that record did so big, that's when everybody was going, shit, I need them behind my record. Then we did Migos. Then after we did Migos brought us Bando. We picked Versace, and once Versace went, it was over after that. Then Future was just like doing all this whole shit was going on. While all this shit was going on, Future was there, but he was building his own shit. Like, and after we did the Dirty Sprite, after X-Rated,
classic shit, bro.
I think after X-Rated and I think it was X-Rated, Esco, and I want to say Hood Rich. What's my man name?
Oh, King.
No, Scream.
Oh,
Scream.
okay.
I think Scream was on that mixtape.
Okay,
After they did that,
Gotcha.
the shit just went crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like what built the steam for us. And then after that, we just kept doing it. And after that, everybody just kept coming. Like we played such a vital part in so many other records that we got out of just trying to, oh man, we broke this record, we broke that record. I'm now just trying to move the company more so in a promotion and marketing direction opposed to we break records, because so many people locked on to that concept,
right, to
where like to me now that shit is kind of lame. So I'm not, that's why you never hear us say we break records. That was like our theme for a minute. That was like then somebody stole that, you know what I'm saying? But we don't really promote that shit no more. So we, like I say, we moving more toward being a promotion and marketing company. That's why you see us now. We do more promotion than we do more so talk about breaking our artists and that shit, because we build a foundation for the artists more than anything else. You know what I mean? So that's the most important thing to me. It's not about always breaking the record, because most records not gonna break. Right. You really gonna build a foundation for that artist to him to put out another record and another record and another record. Because in this cycle, like I said, we live in a single cycle. So one record might not break. So you want to be able to put out a second single. Most artists be so persistent about that one single breaking through. They leave the room for nothing else to happen after that.
How many chapters now? The Coalition?
Oh shit, we like in 17 major markets right now.
Crazy.
We just started the Midwest. We just did the Latinos. We just went to Oakland and did something.
Latinos. It's an inside
joke.
I mean, you know.
It's an inside joke, man.
It's not inside. I'm saying
Fucking it's outside. What's good, everybody? It's the Progress Report.
Yes, and I just want to let y'all know. I know y'all tune into our podcast, but we're not just a podcast. We're a brand, right? So we just dropped these new jerseys, TPR jerseys. Y'all need to check these out because they fire.
Definitely. So, we started our brand in 2016. It's our 5-year anniversary. So we got these cool products that we want y'all to wear right along with us.
Hey, I be swagged out, man. I be telling you wearing my jersey and my cap, man. Look, if you progressive as you need to get you some of this merch right here, man. Tap in.
Let's go.
Okay, go ahead.
I like that for you.
But we in like 17 markets. We just started the Midwest. We just did Latino. We just did a dude. We got a DJ now in the UK who does a big show on the BBC.
Okay, dope.
His name is DJ Astonish. We just added him. So we moving. I'm thinking about, I got a guy that I've been knowing for a long time who kind of started me doing beats. We're going to actually start a chapter in Africa, but he was going to probably do it in Ghana. So we just, we growing as we grow, what I'm saying? We're trying to get more business, business minded more so than just being known as a DJ crew. That's why you seeing us do like, we do so many events. Like we was, when you see us, we started out doing Puma, then we went from Puma to Dutch Master, from Dutch Master to Backwoods. Like now we got stuff we're doing with, like now I just got Lift, I just did BPM Supreme. It's just about the branding, like it's just about changing the game. I think one thing a lot of DJs don't understand, DJing is a big business. It's a multi-million-dollar business, but I think as far as hip-hop DJs, we locked in on the $500 and the $1,000 a night gigs. We don't understand how big corporate-wise. When you see all of these rappers being on all these commercials, that same money is available for us as DJs, but we have to put ourselves in that same lane to go and get that money.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you on a DJ tip, right? So like when I look back at it, a lot of DJs are so focused on just DJing and being the best DJ in the club, where I really feel like to make that different money, you gotta hit other lanes. Like even if it's podcasting or like how you said you were producing and actually with these labels. Can you talk about that? Like as a DJ branch and all?
Well, I mean, a lot of DJs, like I say, when you, even from, like I tell the DJs, that even in our crew, don't get locked in just the strip club shit. Open your ear up a little bit more, because once you get locked in as a strip club DJ or a trap DJ, that's all you gonna do. That's all anybody gonna come to you to do. So you kind of set yourself up for that failure. You know what I'm saying? But if you kind of stay, okay, I go do a birthday party, I go do a party on Edgewood, I go do a party over here, you kind of open yourself up to be a little bit more versatile than just going, oh man, shit, every time a strip club or some hood shit come available, they calling you, which is a good thing, but the price bracket you gonna stay in with that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, just being a DJ, I always try to stay outside of the price bracket that the everyday DJ get. Like I won't go and do a $500 gig. I won't go do a gig that I know I'm not gonna be able to make the type of money I want to make. So I rather, if I can't make the money, I rather create the party.
Okay.
Big party.
Speaking of parties, can we break down what New Music Mondays is for the people that don't know?
What New Music Monday is? New Music Monday is a platform I created where I let artists come in and they perform 3 songs, a verse and a hook, and get real feedback from the DJ. One of the things that we found out from just being the Coalition DJs, we was getting so many records, so many people were just bringing us records to get broke, and it had became to a point to where the money was good, but the records was whack.
Boy.
Damn.
So we had to figure out which one did we want. Did we want the money, or did we want the reputation of playing good records or breaking good records? We had to really sit down and go, we had to come up with some type of format to where we can kind of filter through what's good, what's mediocre, and what's acceptable. So when I sat down, I just said, when Nick Love was a part of us, we was at a bowling alley. This is no lie. We was in the back of a bowling alley when we started doing New Music Monday. It really was our meeting that we would have for the DJs. And all of us would actually get together and play music amongst the DJs. And I think one day somebody said, I got an artist. He want to come in and play some music. And from that point right there, it just started going, I'll pay to get in that room. I'll pay to do that. I'll pay y'all to listen to my music. And it went from that to like, shit, we went from one person paying to, shit, I remember one week we had at least about 10 artists in a little bit ass, like a closet. But we was in that motherfucker just listening to music all day. But the whole thing about it is we benefit from that because out of that came Young Thug, a bunch of rappers that's big right now. Like the first time I ever heard Young Thug, we was in the back of Metropolitan Bowling Alley.
I seen City Girls at New Music Monday, and when I seen them there, and I called their manager,
they on that joint too. I was like, they wasn't even giving no energy.
We the City Girls, we here to play music.
And when I called
they didn't want to perform. You remember that?
And I called their manager for booking, and they was $5,000.
Yeah.
Just to give a little, you know what I'm saying? And that still was like, I don't know.
Did y'all ever have an artist who came through and y'all was like, nah, but then they end up popping?
Hell yeah.
Can you name any?
YFN Lucci, The Baby, The Baby. I remember The Baby came and hunched the floor and we was like, oh my God. But I won't say we didn't pick him. We actually knew he was gonna be a star because like when you hear the feedback, people was like, yeah, but when Lil Baby came, he didn't have my dog or none of that shit. Okay. And I remember P pulling me to the side going, yo man, we gotta make this record happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I like when he played Lil Baby, for me, I was fucking with it. But at the time I don't think they didn't have a club record or some shit.
Yeah, it wasn't the Lil Baby we know.
I really feel Lil Baby.
It wasn't the Lil Baby.
And I know now. We would watch him perform and we'd be like, but now
I think you was there when he came, right? Was you?
I don't know if I was
possibly
there.
It was a long time ago.
Shit,
yeah,
maybe.
probably.
But I think even great artists, like even like older generations of artists, like when you hear them on Drink Champs and stuff, they all say like Lil Baby one of their favorite rappers. So like he came crazy.
Yeah, he came a long way. Like so, I always liked the kid, but I just knew like that. I don't know if it was the song he like. Sometimes when you come to New Music Monday, sometimes you just chose the wrong songs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he chose the wrong songs. It was just one of them days where he went first. He should have went second or third. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it be like that sometimes because when you're in a room full of DJs, man, and you got DJs that's been in the club all night, now they come in and now they got to come and hear your music and they got to be open-minded. Shit, you don't know what they just went through in that club the night before, what they just went through. And I think a lot of times people forget that DJs are people, man. They got families, they got kids, they got all that shit. Just because they play your records in the club, they still got real life shit going on. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all gotta resurface some of those old videos.
I be posting I got one with Lil Baby. But
okay, that's hard.
Yeah, that's throwback. That's golden.
Facts.
And do y'all handpick DJs to be a part, or can people like?
Well, what I do is my process for like getting DJs. You got to be a working DJ. If you're not a working DJ, you really not a. You know, not to say you're not a worthy DJ, you're just not a value to me.
Now, what's working? What do you consider like a working?
Like DJ? You in the club, you got some shit going on, you got some, you know, because if I get somebody in this room right here that say, hey man, I want you to get behind my record, I can't put a DJ just at his house fucking making mixtapes. Right. That's not going to be beneficial to him. The benefit of being what we do is making sure that the DJs are in the club and that the audience can hear the record. You get what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I tell artists all the time. The internet is great. It's a great tool, but when you want people to hear you, you gotta get you gotta get it to a DJ, because that's when the public is gonna give you their perception of what they think of your record. You get what I'm saying? The internet is just open. Like everybody got a phone. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you stand a better chance, and that don't mean people are really engaging with the music either. It's like even when you on Instagram, it's like people don't engage with it. They might just flip past and heard a little piece of it, but they didn't get a chance to engage with the record. In the club, you engage with the record because now you can't go and hit stop. True. You gotta wait till that DJ turn that motherfucker off.
True that. Now, one thing that I learned about you, I'm like, all right, Big X ain't always mean. I'm like, okay, his soft spot is his daughter. So talk about fatherhood for you. I know that's something that's very sacred to you.
Shit. I just never had a dad, so when I grew up, I just knew I always wanted to be a father to my child, and I wanted to be a good representation for other black men. Like I had a bunch of dudes around me. Like I say, I've always been in a mix of dudes and just being kind of like a leader. So I wanted to be the person that showed people it's not hard to actually be a father if you actually take the time to do it. And I actually raised my child. I went through a bunch of shit early on, as you know, with the baby mama drama, that kind of shit. I actually did a year in jail.
Damn.
Behind the whole child support, that kind of shit.
Damn.
But I did it not because I wasn't paying. I did it because I didn't want to be used as a pawn for child support. And I really wanted to make a stance and show that me being in jail and you keep pursuing me for child support, if I'm in jail, you can't get no money.
Yeah, I ain't going to jail.
So I made a point of showing her that. You know what I'm saying? So after that, she kind of seen, okay, shit, you can't really do that.
That's extreme. Just to prove a point. That's crazy.
But after doing that, you know, I got custody of my child and I raised her. Now she's going to college and shit. Everything is what it is. And like I said, I just wanted to be an example because Funky, let it be told, I really watched Funky. Funky was my role model as a father, as far raising kids. I seen Funky do that shit he was always been a strip club DJ. He was a bartender before that, but he was always dedicated to his family. And that was the one thing, as me and his friendship grew, as me and him, just hooking up and just being friends, I always liked the fact that he put his family first.
Right.
Respect. Well, that's what's up. That the college and all that good stuff. That's exciting. I know that's super huge for you. So we got this question that we like to ask all our guests. We like to ask them to define the word progress. That's our key word. So what does the word progress mean to you?
Progress to me is 14 years of doing the Coalition DJs, starting from 4 DJs to now we're over 200 and some plus DJs. We have we are a promotion and marketing company. We was featured in the Wallstreet Journal, front page.
Okay. Not the back, sir. Okay, front page. Let's be very clear.
We have a distribution company. We have a record label. We had a record that charted in the top 20 as a company. We have we do New Music Monday. We've been doing that for 12 years. Outside of that, shit, what else? For this year, we're doing our first DJ conference. We're bringing in DJs from all over the country. Right now, we have over 300 registered DJs coming to Atlanta in January for our anniversary and summit. And we just, every day we're growing. Like I promise you, like I never thought I'd be in a point to where I say, damn, man, it feel like every day we're doing something new. To where, you do something for so long, you go, damn, I'm tired of doing this. But we growing so fast and we growing every day to where it's like every day is a new day.
Damn right.
Period. We love to hear it. All right, well, Big X, man, until the next time, man, we appreciate you for coming through and chopping it up on the progress report. We definitely will be locked and loaded, during the anniversary.
So we gotta have a show at the
we gotta do it. We did the Cypher last year, so it's only right.
Yeah, y'all had the Cypher. No, you had the Cypher for Springfest.
That was Springfest.
Yeah, so we gotta get the show for. We gotta have the show for the anniversary.
Let's do it. We can't wait. We can't wait.
But we gotta just figure out where we're gonna put y'all in that liberty ass room, though.
We're gonna figure it out, man. I was gonna say we're gonna figure it out, man. We're gonna come have fun. But X, we appreciate your time.
Oh man, I really appreciate y'all for having me. Hey man, and good luck and much success on what y'all doing. So for real, and I'm real proud of y'all.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. It's the progress report. We'll be right back.
All
right. So you stay right.
Lala, you still writing on this locker?
Yes.
Look, only the stars sign our locker.
Come on, man. You know the vibes.
All right. Well, with that being said, we are looking for the dopest upcoming artists as well as entrepreneurs that want to tell their story and share their story with the world.
Look, if you got what it takes, you need to pull up to the progress report.
We need a signature right here.
Hey, don't sign this again.